Good morning. Let me get as usual, my computer synced up here, ready to go so I can see who's here and who's sending questions. Hope y'all had a good weekend. I'm still recuperating from mine. I went on a quilting retreat, and my sweet husband, good morning, Linda and JJ. Good morning, Helen. My sweet husband said, quilting must be awfully stressful. And I said, why do you think that? And he said, well, you sure need to retreat a lot and you sure come home tired. So it is tiring. It's tiring physically and emotionally because I spent 2.5 days just laughing and, just in a room full of girls. So it was fun. Man, here y'all, come all at once. Wait just a couple of minutes and let everybody... Good morning, Ruth. You finally get to hear me live. Bless your heart. Okay, y'all are strolling fast this morning. So here's what I'm going to do. As I see a question, I'll try to answer it as quickly as I can. If I miss your question, it's because it scrolled past me. So send it again. And it's 7:02 according to my clock. So we'll try to do this for about 30 minutes and then I'll let you go. I get a lot of questions by private message during the week, and I thought, sometimes people just might need to see what kind of questions other folks are asking, and very rarely will you have a question that Connie was on the retreat with me. Have you survived, Connie? Have you made it back? I'm exhausted still. Thank you, Rosie. I need probably about a day's worth of sleep to get caught up. I finally got my sewing room put back together so I can go home from work today and get another quilt finished for a customer. But anyway, okay, so good morning, Papa James and Nana Shirley. Good morning to all of you. You're coming in so fast I can't possibly say good morning to everybody, but consider yourself said good morning to. How's that? Okay, let's get those questions going so we can have a dialogue here instead of me just sitting here rambling. As you can tell, it's still dark outside here in Dallas, but it's not raining, thank goodness. I think we're supposed to have rain again all day Wednesday. We're back up into the 80s. Oh, you had both grandkids? I'm so sorry. Those are toddlers. I bet you are worn out. Anyway, we're supposed to be back in the 80s this week. We had cool fall weather for a few days, but it went away. Karen, first time making it live. Well, good morning. Question, who will stop the rain? JJ, I love you. I don't know who will stop the rain. Has the calorie counting helped? Well, it has helped me. And some folks I've been working with on some accountability stuff, I think it's helping them. It's just another layer of checking yourself. There's nothing that says you have to count calories, and I know a lot of people get really wigged out about that. But for me, and for some of the folks I'm working with, when you, just for a few days, look at how many calories you're taking in, you're often surprised. And it's not always that you're eating too much. Sometimes it's that you're not eating enough. Susan, just made goal. Congratulations. What do you have to maintain weight loss? Keep doing what you were doing the last 5 pounds. Those last 5 pounds go off so slowly that I truly believe if you just keep doing that is the best way to maintain. Are you going to lose more? You might, but there's nothing that says you can't go under goal. So I would just continue to do what you've been doing. I wouldn't add back in those extra points on a daily basis. You can have them occasionally, but I wouldn't do it on a daily basis. I've reached a plateau that I can't get past. Do something different. If you've been eating the same thing for breakfast, eat something different. If you've been living off of 23 points a day or whatever your daily point is, eat a little bit lower for a day, a little bit higher the next day. Shake things up. Don't do the same thing every day and expect a different result. It just won't happen. Connie, what is this about? Connie, we do this every week. Usually I have a subject that I try to speak on, but today I thought I would just answer some of your questions. Nana has a question. Isn't Weight Watchers based on 1,200 calories? Well, not necessarily. It's based on points, you know, and as we all know, points can be completely different depending on what you spend those on. I think, you know, for a lot of people, 1,200 calories is a good caloric goal to look at, but it really depends on your age and your current weight and even on your activity level. So it's kind of hard to, it can't be a one size fits all for everybody. Those of us who are much more active can handle more calories than someone who has a more sedentary lifestyle, in my opinion. And I want to preface all of this by saying I'm not a professional, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm just somebody who's done it, and I can tell you what I have found that works for me. When I'm on a plateau, I find increased activity helps getting back on track. Increased activity is always good for us, and it doesn't have to be a full-fledged 30-minute or an hour in the gym. It can be as little as standing up at every commercial and walking in place as long as there's a commercial on TV. You'll be amazed at how many extra calories you'll get in during the day if you'll do that. It can also be simple things like if you work, instead of keeping your mail on your desk until the end of the day to go put postage, every time you finish one, go put postage. Every time you go to the bathroom, walk in place for 250 steps. Take the stairs. Park farther away. But every little bit of activity you can squeeze into your day will make a big difference. Good morning, Lisa. Leanne, Mr. Good Ideas. Well, I hope I have some, Leanne. Every now and then I try to, you know, to throw something out there that pops into my mind and share it with you, because if it helps me, hopefully it'll help someone else. Again, I don't have all the answers. I'm not any different than any of you, but I've just been doing this for a really long time, so I have figured out some things that have worked and some tips and tricks that I can offer, and maybe they'll help you. I hope they do. What app do I use for counting calories? I use MyFitnessPal. I know there are a lot of good ones. iTrackBytes, Lose It, obviously the Weight Watchers app now tells us what the calories. I don't know that it keeps a running tally. Maybe it does. I haven't checked that, but I personally use MyFitnessPal. Sorry about that. I've just used it for years, and so I'm comfortable with it. And I don't track my calories every day, but I do it every few days. I'll put all of my food in there just to keep an eye on how many calories I'm taking in. It just kind of gives me an extra layer of knowledge, and I don't think knowledge is ever a bad thing. So if you choose not to track your calories, that's great, that's fine, that's your choice. But if you just want to see, am I eating enough or am I eating too much? It's just something you might want to do. How many vegetables do you try to eat each day? I try to get at least one vegetable with every meal. Not necessarily with every snack, but with every meal. I think a really good goal is to shoot for at least 4 to 6 servings of vegetables a day. It's full of fiber, it will fill you up, and it will hopefully, with some really good protein and healthy fats, keep you from caving to those cravings. What do you think about the wins reward? To be honest with you, Deborah, I haven't been doing it since I'm not tracking on my Weight Watchers app. I'm tracking my calories. I think anything that can motivate us, some of us are very motivated by, what's the right word I want to use? I hate getting old when words just fly out. Some of us are motivated by things like that, and if you are, do it and let it motivate you. What's the average calorie number per day? Like I said again, friend, it really depends on the person's age, activity level. Me personally, I try to stay within 1,100 to 1,400, and I fluctuate every day. I try not to let any 2 days be exactly the same, because your body's incredibly smart and it will figure out what you're doing if you eat the same calories every day or the same points every day. Your body will figure it out and adjust accordingly. So keep it different, and keep your body guessing. What do I eat for breakfast? I'm all over the place on breakfast. Some days I have an egg sausage muffin. Some days I have toast and peanut butter. Some days I have a bar. I have eaten oatmeal for breakfast. Some days I get so busy in the mornings I don't have anything but my coffee. Dinah, can you be seen? No, I can see what you're saying, but I don't see you. I see that you're online and I see your little profile picture, but I don't see you like you see me. Let's see. Oh, I saw one and then it disappeared. Good morning, Mark. Mark was in my Weight Watchers training class many moons ago. Extrinsic motivation rewards. You know, wonderful. Anything that motivates us is a good thing. If you eat too little calories, your metabolism slows down. Well, I don't think anybody should eat too little, and I'm not ever advocating that. That's why I say a range. Some days I just try to stay on the lower end of my caloric range, and some days I try to stay on the higher end, and I keep it fluctuating. But yes, you should never try to eat too little. That's not ever a good thing. Likewise, you should never eat too much. And we tend to give permission for people to eat too much more freely than we give permission for people to eat too little. So happy to see a friend from home. Good morning. I'm watching from Nigeria. Nancy, Nigeria, welcome. Good grief. That's on the other side of the world. What time is it there? I can't even imagine. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's see what else. So glad we can have success even when trying different routes. We're different people. We're all different. We all have different lifestyles, and I don't believe, this is my personal opinion, and I may start seeing mad faces go all over here. I don't believe that Weight Watchers has ever been a one-size-fits-all. We all have different point values because we're different ages, we're different sizes, we have different activity levels. So I think you have to find the formula of the Weight Watchers plan that works best for you. Now, before you get all mad, let me try to clarify that real quickly. I think Weight Watchers is a fantastic program. Fantastic. It helped me lose over 50 pounds. So obviously, I think it's a wonderful program. But I think that, some of us just have to tweak now and then. Not everybody and not for long, but that's just my opinion. Do you eat fats every day? Every single day. I eat healthy fats every single day. So just track somehow. Absolutely, whether it's tracking your points, tracking your calories, using the Weight Watchers app, using a calorie tracking app, be aware, not just here, but in paper or on a tracking device, how much you're taking in. Nana says she thinks you see her giving you, I do, I see you. I appreciate your honesty. Well, Deborah, we all need to be honest with each other. If I, told you that I was doing something I wasn't doing, what good is that going to do you or me? I believe in Weight Watchers, and please don't ever take anything from this other than that. I do believe in Weight Watchers. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here spending countless hours every week. I just believe that some of us reach a point on our journey where just tracking those points isn't working for us. And if it isn't working, I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to figure out what about it isn't working and what can I do to fix that. I said before in a video, Weight Watchers to me is not freestyle or Points Plus or Smart Points. Weight Watchers to me is the tools and the knowledge to lose my weight and keep it off. How do I stay motivated to lose a lot of weight? Dinah, that's a big one, but here's what I'm going to tell you. You stay motivated by knowing that time is going to pass, whether you're losing weight or not. So you just need to stay focused on one day at a time, and sometimes one meal at a time. I look back at pictures of my journey and where I came from. I watch the before and after pictures that you post. I try different things, try new recipes, try new exercises, and find an accountability partner. That works like you can't even imagine for me and for a lot of people. Elaine says, mindless eating got me to gain. Mindless eating is the devil for all of us. So we have to do whatever we have to do to make sure that we're not doing that mindless eating. Kitchen closed, lights out at night. Do you use a tool to track your calories? I do. I use MyFitnessPal. Teresa says, with the upcoming holidays, how can we manage? Okay, here's what you do. We'll take Thanksgiving. It's a meal. It's not a week. It's not a weekend. It's not even an all day. You take that meal. You decide in advance what you're going to eat. And if you feel like you need to eat something, some bit of everything, you use the 3-bite rule. First bite is to taste it and decide if it's good enough to keep eating. Second bite is to enjoy the flavor, and the third bite is to say goodbye. 3 bites of the dressing or the pumpkin pie or whatever it is plenty. You don't need a whole plate full of it. You don't need to go back for seconds, and you don't need to finish something on your plate just because it's on your plate. Nobody's paying attention to what you're eating. So a very small portion, and then make sure that your meal before and your meal after are very low point and low calorie, and you'll be okay. It's one day of the journey. Don't sweat it. Just do what you need to do and then get right back on at the very next meal. But whatever you do, don't turn it into an all-out gorge fest for the entire weekend. No excuses anymore. That's it. No excuses. Love the 3-bite rule. The 3-bite rule has saved my neck more times than I can tell you. Another thing that will help you is to know before you get there what you're planning on eating and pre-track. Having company next week, none are dieting. Any helpful hints for cooking? Yeah, you know, I would do my meals with some really good 0-point proteins and vegetables. You know, you don't have to bake a cake. You can make a fruit bowl. You don't have to make really high fat-laden, calorie-rich meals. If you're in charge of feeding them, feed them what you eat. If you're going out to eat, you don't have to eat what they eat. Just remember, they may be watching you to get some good ideas. So give them a really good show. Show them how possible it is to eat well and still lose weight. Put gum in your mouth when Thanksgiving leftovers. Go brush your teeth and put gum in your mouth. Use my trick for the little travel bottle of mouthwash. You put Listerine in your mouth and nothing's going to taste good for a while. I know you're all going to think I'm crazy, but I went all the way back to winning points. Bonnie, we do whatever we have to do. If it was good for Weight Watchers then, I'm not about to tell you that it's not good for you now. So whatever you have to do to be in control of what goes into your mouth is good for you. And I'm not going to tell anyone that they have to follow the current freestyle plan in order to be a member of this group. I'm just not, and I hope nobody's offended by that. But here's what I think of this group. You may differ from me, but we are all here because we are watching our weight. Now, most of us are Weight Watchers, or WW, or whatever the name of it is. But we're all here because we're watching our weight, which makes us Weight Watchers. Get it? So whatever you're doing to watch your weight, I say good for you. The Listerine idea, I'm telling you, it may sound extreme, but you swish your mouth and spit it out, nothing is going to taste good for half an hour. Nothing. So I keep a bottle on my kitchen counter, and I keep a little travel size bottle in my purse. I don't know if it's Robert or Donna Stewart does the Old Point system. Hey, it worked then, so why wouldn't it work now? You know, just because Toyota comes out with a new model of the 4Runner doesn't mean everybody who has an old 4Runner should ditch them, right? That's just my thoughts for whatever it's worth. Didn't cost you anything, right? We got about 10 minutes left. I'll try to, as the questions keep coming up, I'll try to jump on. But yeah, I don't ever want anybody to think that because they're struggling with the current program, or they're not a paying member of the plan, that they can't be an active member of this group. Not at all. That's just not the case. So whatever you happen to be doing, we're here for support and accountability. So I hope that you will be an active member of the group. Now, the only thing we won't discuss on this board is some crazy, far-fetched, you know, diet that just isn't good for anybody. You don't have to be a Weight Watchers member. You just don't. Do I think it's a good thing? Absolutely. I encourage people all the time to do Weight Watchers, but you're not going to be kicked off this group or chastised because you, for whatever reason, are not a member. We have several folks who just can't afford it, and that's none of my business why they can't afford it. We have some that have just opted not to do it. Again, none of my business. And I have no way of verifying, nor would I anyway. So you're welcome to be here regardless. And if anyone tells you otherwise, it's not their group. It's not their decision to make. So don't give other people the power to control you and your day. What do you think is the best way to restart? Should I pitch the bad food out of my house? If those bad foods are a trigger for you, then I would donate them to a neighbor or to a church, food pantry or something. I think the best way to restart is to get rid of whatever triggers you or trips you up. If you set yourself up for success, you're much more likely to be successful. So I can't personally keep trigger foods within reach for me. So I know some of you are so committed and so devoted, you can have chips on the counter and it doesn't bother you, but it does me. So I pre-plan my meals for the week, make my grocery list, go to the store and get everything else out of sight. Can't get in the mindset, but I'm a member thinking about canceling till I get ready. Well, Crystal, here's what I would tell you. The membership to Weight Watchers, if it's a level of accountability for you, then I wouldn't cancel it. If it isn't, that's a financial decision that only you can make. But don't get rid of any accountability that even if you may not lose between now and the end of the year, or as we go through the holiday season, whatever you need to do to at least maintain. Not everybody's going to lose over the next 60 days, but we can maintain. If you don't do either, if you don't do something, keep your membership, keep going to meetings, stay active in various groups, have an accountability partner, you will start the first of the year, if you're like most people, 10 to 15 pounds heavier. So whatever you need to do to make sure that doesn't happen. Frances, she got her sister to join, got a free month. So that's awesome, friend. Again, whatever you have to do to at least not be in that club of people who start January 1, 10 or 15 pounds heavier. We always need accountability. Absolutely. We need support and accountability. So I think that's just huge. Janice, I'm up 5 pounds from Lifetime. I feel your pain, and let's get it off. Let's get back to that Lifetime status where you're not having to pay when you weigh in. You did it before, so you know how to do it. You just have to go back to what you were doing. I think too many people reach Lifetime and then they don't stay in that weight loss mentality. They see Lifetime as a license to start slipping and adding in some extras. And while some of us can, not all of us can. And we see that weight start creeping back up. Crystal says, I don't meal prep or plan my weekday meals for lunch. I need breakfast and lunch ideas. I think meal prepping is huge, no matter how you're eating. Knowing what you're going to eat just sets you up for success. I've posted lots of meal ideas. There are lots of them on our group. So I would just suggest going into the search box and typing breakfast or lunch and get some ideas. Lynn says people see it as the end of the journey. Absolutely, Lynn. Lifetime is not the end of the journey. Lifetime just means you upgraded your car a little bit. But you still have to put gas in it. You still have to maintain it. You still have to rotate the tires. You still have to do all of that stuff. So I don't ever advise people to do anything different. I think that living in a weight loss mindset for the rest of our life will always keep us on track. You know, again, those last 5 pounds are so hard to get off and so slow that being at Lifetime, for me, if I just live there, I don't know that there will ever be a time in my life that I'm not conscious of my weight and have my eye on it, because I don't ever want to go back to 180, 190 pounds. Pinterest has lots of ideas, Helen. That's true. Pinterest is a really good source. There are some great websites. Skinny Taste is another good one. Hungry Girl has some really super easy meal ideas. So if you don't have a Pinterest board, I would join Pinterest and just search Weight Watchers, search Freestyle, and you'll get all kinds of ideas. JJ says, ask yourself, how much do you want good health? Absolutely. What is it worth to you? You're going to have health. It's either going to be good or bad. That's up to you. Got tired of boiled eggs, and well, I'd get tired of boiled eggs and turkey sandwiches too. I don't eat boiled eggs every day, and I definitely don't eat turkey sandwiches every day. So, yeah, look for some ideas. Shake it up. Don't eat the same thing every day. Keep your body guessing. You know, nobody wants to get bored, because that's when you start eating things that you shouldn't. Negativity is toxic. Oh my goodness. That's the truth. Even on our group board, please remember, we love sharing with you. We love helping you, but negativity doesn't help anyone, whether that's in response to somebody else's post or your own. There's a big difference between being helpful and being negative. Just saying. I'm just saying. We love helpful. Negativity, not so much. We got about 2 minutes. Try a new recipe from Weight Watchers every week. This has helped. That's great. Weight Watchers has some great recipes. Sign up for a walk or healthy event. Yeah, or grab a friend, or if you have a treadmill access, you know, or a fitness tracking device, it's on one of these wrists, or just find somebody on here that will be your accountability partner. Ask them, ask on the group, is anybody willing to be my virtual walking partner, and touch base with each other, 3 times a week. What time are you going to go walk today? This is what time I'm going to go walk. If you don't hear from me, please yell at me and ask me if I did my walk. Kindness is wonderful. If the world would all be kinder to each other instead of so snippy and offended and hateful, imagine how much kinder and nicer and more pleasant the world would be. Okay, we've had 30 minutes. That's enough. I'll try to go back. I have a really busy day at work today, but I'll try to go back, if nothing else tonight while I'm watching TV, and see if there's any questions that I missed. You can always message me. You can always post them on the board and you'll get lots of answers. But my motivation, I guess, or my encouragement for you this week is be aware of what you're eating. Be aware of how little or how much you're eating. Be aware of how much you're moving. Find ways to move a little bit more, and don't let the upcoming holidays be something that gives you permission to go off plan. There's no reason to go off plan. I'm sending great big hugs back. Again, thank you for your encouragement, for your kindness to me, to yourself, and to each other. I hope you have a wonderful, successful, and motivating week. And I hope that I get to see less of you next week than there is of you this week. For those of you who are doing the private accountability thing with me, I somehow have misplaced my calendar that I have everybody's date and time written in. I'm looking for it, but if you would be so kind as to send me a message to let me know what day and time we're supposed to visit each week for this month, that would help me tremendously until I can find my calendar. Please. All right, I will talk to you all later. Have a great time, and I'll see you on the board.